Good morning, traders. Welcome to the daily webinar. This is the daily webinar for my group that I do every day. We're sharing it free on YouTube for the last 4 weeks or 5 weeks. I think 4 weeks. At the end of this week will be the last one that is the daily webinar that is being shared free on YouTube. But I will continue to do free webinars on YouTube at least 3 times a week. They're not going to be the same webinar. They're going to be 3 different webinars. One is going to be in Forex, one in stocks, and one in cryptos. Now, if they get enough views to support them, which means if there's enough people out there who are interested in those videos, I'll put them out. If any one of them is not getting enough views, I'll stop doing that one and continue doing the other ones. I know Forex will have enough views. Cryptos and stocks and metals, all of that, I'm not sure about that. But if there is enough people out there, or if you can share it, if you like it and you're a stock person, you need to make sure you share it with enough stock people who will watch it. Because my time has value. And if I'm wasting it, out there with nobody looking at the video or not enough people looking at the video, then it will not make sense to do it. I'll continue. I'll rather spend more time with the people who are trading, who are looking at the videos that has Forex or cryptos or whatever is on it, right? So once I do that, I'm expecting that those of you who watch the webinars will help share it within your community, within your friends, within the people who are like-minded like you. And if they like it or not, they'll decide, but share it at least. You will help somebody. Right? If you like it, I think you're getting, some help from it. You can help someone else. So thank you very much for sharing so far, because the sharing so far has been giving good results. Let's go. So let's start. We're in the dollar index and it's coming down. Again, let me just explain. I know sometimes I repeat myself very often but remember, those of you who are seasoned traders, I know you get it. Have a little patience with me, because there are many, many, many traders who are watching this for the first time and are absolutely new to this whole concept of wave analysis, and even new to trading for that matter of fact, right? So again, we said we will not confirm the downside until we get a 4-hour correction. Right now, we're getting a 1-hour correction. This is a sell setup, but it's a short-term sell setup, like this was a sell setup. So if we get this trade here today, we will manage it very carefully, because we're not expecting it to go very far. If after that we get a bigger correction here, great, we will go with the sell longer term, and we will keep it to break the low, the daily low, right? This low. If that doesn't happen and we get a reversal, which means we just break this low slightly and go back up and start to go upside, we will assume they'll break the top. So we will close this trade for a small loss or break even. Depends on how we get the opportunity to do that. Sometime maybe for profit. And then we'll be looking for this buy to the upside. If we get a buy here, we will keep that buy to break this top, because that would confirm our thing that this could be a running flat. Now, the more this goes, the more that negates the running flat, and the more we're heading for the downside. Let's see. There's a good chance we will get to this downside. Silver, it consolidated. We sold yesterday. I sold it personally twice. Both times, the first time I even had to close it for a small loss, very small loss, but I willfully closed it because that was before the news. I would have kept it, but that was just before there was a news event, and we know in the news event they can go the opposite direction. So I got tagged in the trade here, and I closed it just about here. It went up, it came down back. My entry was here, and I closed it here because I was going to sleep, and I don't want to keep this trade overnight, not until all those high impact news events in the US with impeachment and all those things that's happening there is finished. When things are quiet, we'll keep trade longer. Things are not that quiet right now. So we don't know what could happen. So be on the safe side. Take it out. It didn't go anywhere. So what I'm looking at now, right now, 2 ways, 2 things could happen. I've explained both of those to you guys when we were here, right? I said, I'm looking for a bigger correction, and then I'd look for a sell, which means any sell opportunity I get, I'll take, right? Whether it's break even, whether it's a small loss, whether it becomes a win, any sell opportunity I'll get, I'll take. But there's a chance that it doesn't go in one piece. It could go here, come here, go back there, and then come down. So if this is going to go up today, we might look for a short-term buy opportunity, break this top, and then the downside. It's not likely it could happen. I don't know, but we will watch this piece here to decide. If this consolidates here, we're selling. If this be a consolidation here like that, we're selling. Very clear. If we get a sell setup, we're selling, and it looks like we might get a sell setup. If for whatever reason this takes off and do like this and then make a flag here, we'll try to buy it to break this top. So And from there, we will see where it goes. This was a flat. We saw that flat very clear yesterday. That is why we sold this. The selling was good. That shows us that the impulse is not ready to go. You got it for a small profit. That's okay. Think about 10 pips, not anything to. So what we would look for is as soon as this is finished, remember the trade we're looking for is not these little trades. The trade we're looking for, let me just remind you the trade you're looking for. And it sometimes takes a while to come. The trade we're looking for is a trade that is going to come to break this low. That is something like this. And that takes a while. See this here? It takes a while to get that set up. You don't get this set up so fast. So I wouldn't be surprised if this goes here and then we get that sell set up in a 1, 2, 3 pattern there. See? So maybe not this week, maybe next week, but that trade is coming. So what we're going to do is wait and try to get every sell setup we can get. So there is no sell setup right now. If there's any later today, we'll take the trade. If there isn't any, we'll let it. If we get the buy, we get the buy. If we don't get the buy, let it go to the top, and then we look for the sell again. Gold pretty much went up a little. Remember, I told you yesterday when we were here that this is more of a buy setup than a sell setup because of the depth that it came. Now, if you bought, you're probably lucky and you got out for break even, right? We didn't buy it because this happened during the news event, and that's why we didn't buy it. And it came down back, and now it's looking like you might get a sell setup finally. So what you want to do is you want this to go back here, make a flat, and then we would look for the sell setup, right? How far would the sell go? We'll have to decide. We'll have to see how far it goes because it could be a corrective structure. It could come back and even retest the low because there's a probability of this being a running flat. I think I said this on Monday. With the probability of this being a running flat, and this could come down. So if you get a sell set up here today, that sell would make sense to come back and retest this low, right? So let's keep our eyes open for that, and let's see if we get this trade. Euro USD. Euro USD looks like it might go up some more, at least one more, because this is looking very much like they're consolidating for one more up. This could be a buy setup. We can look for that buy, just like this one. This one, we bought it break even, and then I think some of my traders got in back there, and some of them got in here. I know for sure some of them got this trade. So what we would look for here is it going to go more up? When it breaks this top, is it going to turn or is it going to continue to go? Because we still have the possibility of this running flat. We haven't negated that as yet. But if they break out here and they continue to go, we might consider that running flat not possible anymore. Depends on how far it goes, right? That still, it will only be confirmed by a bigger correction. But if it moves far enough, it will no longer be a running flat. It could be an expanding flat, or it could just be continuing to go to break this top, which I showed you in the daily, right? And that's how you trade. You have to have a sense of direction in the higher time frame, and then you come in the lower time frame and you look for your entry to go in that direction. So if we get this buy, we'll take it. Pong, again, we told you we weren't buying Pong at the top here, but when it came down here, we said we can buy these now. I did not buy it. I'm not buying it. You can buy. This was a buy. You probably had a buy setup here in the 1 hour. You had a few more 1 hour buy setups. They weren't very big trades. I think this was a trade some of my traders took it. This was a trade some take it. And you might be just getting a consolidation in here for one more up. Now, this one more up is not changing the structure I showed you as to the reason why we're not buying. Because one person I think came on the YouTube video to make a comment like that. But they always, for some reason, when they start constructively, they end it very derogatively. Now, if you even want to troll me, I don't have a problem with that as long as you're constructive in your trolling. So if your criticism is constructive or really based on the charts, you will not be filtered. You will only be filtered when you add the derogatory words onto it. That's what filter. I don't do the filtering. YouTube does that filtering. So if you want your criticisms to go through constructively, be normal. Just be normal. So his thing was that you said you're not buying Pong because it's not, we're looking only for the sell, but now it's going up. And I wanted to ask the guy, really? You know where I told you I'm not buying Pong in here? Is that what you call going up to heaven? I mean, if you were telling me here, I said don't buy it, and it gone that way, well, I would say congratulations, although I didn't see how you can trade like this, right? That means you're just guessing, you're not trading. If you said I was trading this up, then I would say, well, okay, I understand you're not trading because you have no idea. Because if you're trying to keep this for a long run, you probably never traded because you wouldn't. That's just reality. If any trader, you ask any day trader, short-term trader who are not an investment trader, they will tell you that's not possible. You can take a few trades in and up of this, but you're not keeping that. At the same time, we told you when it dropped here, we are buying. We could buy to break this top. But after that, we'll be careful. So today there might be a buy setup. There might be a buy setup here, but why buy the pound? If I'm looking at this pattern, for me, why buy the pound? I can go buy the Aussie. We already bought the New Zealand this morning. You can buy the euro. Because this is not a pound movement, this is a dollar movement. When it's a pound movement, you will see pound taking off really, really fast, and all the pound, pound pairs would go with it. This is a dollar movement you're talking about. So all you have to do is go to any other dollar pair with a better setup and trade that one, not with something that is doing this. And that's common sense. So to that person, that's the answer to your question. But next time, leave that. I actually like the comment because I would have answered you if you were not filtered out for the derogatory words you had at the end. I would have actually given you the answer and explained to you why I'm not buying pound, and you wouldn't lose your account. And you're not losing anything if you didn't buy pound either, because you can buy any other thing else. So yeah, I could get your comment. Yeah, why are you buying it? Look, it's going up. This is all it went up, my friend. We're talking about from this point, and we're still looking for this one. So let's see if you got it right or I got it. Is it going to take off like a rocket? It could. I said that it could. I just wouldn't be in it. Maybe I'll be in another pound trade. Pound Swiss, for example, is a good buy. Pound CAD might give us a good buy. So I might be in those, but not the pound dollar, if it is a pound movement to heaven, as you say. Because I don't like this pattern, and I never do that, because I know the results of those patterns. I've seen hundreds of them, and I know that 90% of them will fall when they look like this, in this with a structure like that. Now, maybe you don't know that, but I know that, and that is why I'm aware of the method that I use. And the method that I use said, well, you shouldn't be buying this long term. You can take any trade, you have to get out immediately. A short-term trade, yes. If you get a short-term trade for a buyer and you want to take it, take the profit off. So is it going to be a buy setup today? Maybe. It needs to consolidate more. You don't have this setup as it stands. This was a good setup for a buy. We told you about this buy. We told you about that buy. We told you about this buy. This would be a buy. Well, if it comes back here and do this, yes, it's a buy. Not as yet. See? Aussie. Now this is a buy. I bought this like 3 times in this area here, and every time it's a very small 5 pips, 6 pips loss. I closed it. It's not a loss. I closed at 5 because I'm expecting an impulse that should go very fast, and the impulse is just not going. So I'm not waiting to see what it's going to do. I think only one of them I got 3 pips positive. The rest of them, I will take more. I didn't take this one this morning. We discussed it in the room, and the reason is because this is a little too sharp down. So we said, okay, let it consolidate. If this is the one going, let it make a flag above this. And then we'll be interested in this buy, because this is a buy setup. It's just not giving you the correct trade, the correct entry point, right? It's a pity I closed this one. I think there was one from here that was in that I closed also. But that's okay, that's trading. So could this be a more bigger expanding flat here and that it will go? Well, let it break the top, make a small flag, and then we will get back right back into that trade. If it consolidates more here, better for me. I actually wanted to consolidate. I wanted to do this and make something like this. And if we get this, this would be a perfect buy for a longer term trade. See? Because this structure is telling you upside. Go back and watch it when it was coming down, what I said. It will go up, and that's a 99% guarantee of it going up. Because we have seen thousands of those, and we know how they behave. Right? Just remember what we were saying as we go along. Go back and watch all my webinars. They're there, they're recorded. New Zealand, we bought it. So we looked at this flat here this morning, and we said, you know what, we like the flat. This flat could break out. And then we had a smaller flat in here. Now, when you get a smaller flat in here, this is where you need to be careful. This could be a 1, 2, 3. You notice I have 2 lines. As soon as they break this line, if they close there, we will put that trade to break even. We took it here because they could come right back here and then go. So I'm not expecting them to come down so fast. I'll show you. I'm expecting them to go some more. So we took the trade here, and we expected to break that top. That's the minimum. Remember my thing. It has to break tops and bottoms to tell you where the pattern is completed. So as it stands right now, this could be a flat that could come back here and then go. Or it could go up here, come back here, and then go. Or it could go up here, break out, and continue to go. This pattern will eventually complete itself and go. Right? I don't know if it's completed itself. I don't think it's completed itself as yet. So we'll just wait and see. Now that the top is broken, we can put the trade to break even. So if it comes right back down and take you out, so be it. You can put your stop a little lower if you want to give it some more space. Depends on what you want to do. Right? It's how you're going to manage your trade based on what you see in the charts and what you think it can do. What patterns you're looking at. So we're looking at this pattern and we said, you know what? If we take the trade above this and it could go really fast, or it could go really slow, right? Or it could, just break this top and then come back. We'll just close the trade. It's that simple, because we understand that the possibility of this being a flat and this going back down. We understand that this could come back here and then go. Well, we will not keep the trade. We'll just get out of the trade and we'll buy back here. So for the person who is not very aware of wave analysis, you might want to watch a lot more of my video, because you will learn a little. You will not be able to be so competent in understanding these patterns, but you can learn them if you join me, if you join our group. We have an amazing group of people. So they will help you to learn it rather than making derogatory statements. You might want to learn and become a good trader. It will make your life better. You can continue to learn to be more derogatory in the future, and not only to me, to everybody else, and that will be your character trait, or you can be a good person, join and learn something, right? It's your choice, not mine. And it's not a reflection of who I am, it's a reflection of who you are. So I'm telling you this because you started you started your comments very nice. I actually liked the comment. I was going to reply to it until I read it today, and then I said, okay, good. Let it be filtered, right? It's filtered automatically. I just happen to see, but I don't interfere with that. I leave it there. YouTube does the rest of the work. So let's go. Watch it when it comes here. I think it will go a little more and we'll watch it. Now, if you're not in the trade, you don't have to worry. If you're not in the trade, all you have to do is let this come here, make a flag here, or then you take this trade to the upside. There are many, many more trades in this if it's going to continue to go, right? You would have to watch the bigger structure as well, right? See the bigger structure now. What happens when it comes to this stuff? There is a high probability you get something like this, come back here, right? Either as a sharp one like this, go back up there, come down here, and then go. Do you see all of those possibilities? Well, we see them. We look at the charts and we said, what can this chart, do? What are the possibilities of patterns that can develop here? And we see them. So even this buy, when it comes here, we will start to manage that trade so that if it's coming back down, we'll get out of it and we'll look for the sell if it goes. So do you have the ability? Do you see the chart the way I just draw it? And do you understand why I draw it like that? All my traders immediately look at it and said, yep, I get it. Every single one. They look at it and said, yep, I see what he's saying. I see that one. I see this one. I see this one. And I see that one going up. Now, you might not see that. So that's where you need to learn wave analysis. So let's see what happens to it. I don't know what is going to happen to that. I don't control the outcome of the trade. I control what I can control. That's the money management, the setups, the implementation, and the management of the trade. That's what I can control. The outcome is not in my hands. The outcome will be what it is. Swiss, we're considering a sell. And if we're going to take a sell, you might want to take it right here. Because by the time it breaks that low, you got to get it to break even. Right? If it's going to drop, I think it could drop here. If we're going to sell it, this is what we would do. By the time it breaks this low, you got to get it to break even. See what they're doing here? It could go right back up. If they start to channel like this, we call this channeling. If they start to channel like this, they're going to go up. Do you see that one? That's another pattern that you might not be able to see. Yen. So when Yen made that sharp move, we started to look for the buy setup, but then we saw this. So if this comes down a little lower than this, we're going to go back there. We're going to come here. We might go back there, and then we might continue to go down. But if it breaks right now, and go back up here and then come here, we're going to go up. See? What happens in here will tell us, are we going to go more down or are we going to go more up? That is wave analysis. Determining what pattern you have in here, what's the nature of the pattern, how does it structure itself, and what is the most likely way it's going to behave with the impulse, which direction that impulse is going to go. And then how do you trade it? CAD. CAD is going sideways. It's pretty similar to the Euro one. It's going sideways here, kind of go there, come here, go there, come back. You could stay here for a while or you could break out and go from this point. I don't think it's a very big move to the downside because the CAD has a lot of consolidation at the top here. We did look at the possibility of this going down to break the low. We looked at that possibility and it doesn't look very nice. It's possible, but it doesn't look very nice. So I'll not be selling the CAD. Again, the CAD could go. I'm not selling CAD. If I have to sell anything that will be going down, it might be the Swiss or the Yen. Or I'll just keep buying the New Zealand and buy the Aussie. Right? If it's a dollar movement, they will all move. So you don't have to trade the CAD. You don't have to go trade it if you don't like this structure. I don't like that structure for the downside. So I might not just trade it to the downside. It's going down. Looks like right now you're going to get some more downside here. So they'll likely break this low again. But if we get any buy setup to the upside, and I mean this setup, if there's a buy setup, I will take it. Because if this starts to go up, the probability and the risk to reward in this trade is much better than you will get on the Yen, you'll get on the CAD at the moment. Right? At the specific moment when those structures that there are right now. The bigger trade to the upside is still the Yen. But that's on the higher time frame, not on this time frame at the moment that we're looking at. Because if Yen goes up now, it will go up as a corrective structure in the 1 hour and the 4 hour. You have to wait for that structure to complete itself before you get the longer term trade. Now, if you couldn't follow me there by simply listening to what I say with a picture of the Yen chart in your head, you need to learn wave analysis. You need to understand what the chart is going to do, and it will give you the edge in your trading, regardless of what strategy you're using for the trade. Learning to understand the direction the chart is going to will give you an edge. Aussie Swiss. We're looking for the buy. Remember I said that short-term sell could come? Well, it did come. So yesterday I told you there is a short-term sell here. There's a short-term sell. It will come, break the low, and then we're expecting it to go up. Would this be the one that takes off? I don't know, but it looks like it can go. So we'll take off that short-term sell, and we can look for a buy here now. Take this off. That is breaking the top. We can look for a buy there now. That is what we would do. I don't know what you are going to do. I'm not making trade calls. Telling you what we're going to do, right? And if you're lucky, it might go like this. If you're not so lucky, it might go like this. And then you'll have to get out because they're going to do this and then go. So it depends on how this trade goes. That's how you're going to manage it. Here is an example. When it comes here and it starts to go like this, you know it's going to come back here before it goes. But if you have something like this and they go like that, you stay with the trade, right? See this? If you have something like this one right now. If it goes like this, you stay with the trade. If it starts to go slow, then it's going to come back here and then go. Aussie Yen. See, yesterday I told you we expected to make a flat, so it's come back. You got a flat. Now you have a perfect buy setup. Is it going to go? No, it could stay here for a while, but if it goes, you want the trade, right? This would be more of a contracting flat. So contracting flats are a little dangerous. They don't go immediately. But yesterday I told you this one was too sharp. This one would likely come back here and then you're expected to go. So anywhere above there, you have to be careful because contracting flats this one could go here and still come back here and still go. That's the nature of this piece until you break the low. And that is why breaking the low is important. So when they don't break the low, you're aware of a possible bigger flat in the making. You can still take the trade. You just know to manage it. Aussie CAD, perfect buy setup. We already have this entry ordered for the buy. Is it going to go? I don't know, but that's a perfect buy setup. Regardless of what, we'll take the trade. We have a bigger structure to support the upside. I told you about these bigger structures on the Aussie dollar, Aussie CAD, Aussie Yen, Aussie Swiss. By the way, go back and look at the daily one. That would be amazing for you. There is a webinar on the daily structure that I did. Right, there is a webinar on the daily structure in this piece. when this was going down. And I said, watch it to break these lows, and then you will start the up move. Similar to this. And like the guy with the yen, like the guy with the comment on the pound, another one went and said, look at this craziness. He said all these things are going to go up, and look, they're all going down. That's showing you a daily chart. So if you don't understand that in a daily chart, you're looking for a daily structure, it's not going to go tomorrow. It might take a month to go, but it's going to go. That's understanding chart and different time frame. And it's going, and we are looking at this, and this will go. And then it will make a lot more flags on the way. It's not going to go in a straight line. That's why it's called wave analysis and not straight line analysis, right? Because it goes in waves. And you can see how much waves you had here, and you can see how much waves you had in here, and you can see how much waves you're getting in this one. So it's a buy setup we're looking for. Aussie, New Zealand. I said it's going to probably continue to go. You wouldn't get a trade. I'm not trading it, and I don't think you have the patience to trade it. So probably stay out of it. Europong. Europong, if you sold it, you close it because it didn't go. If you probably will get a sell set up here again, and it might drop here. You'll have to take the profit or close it because the chances are they're going to come back here and then drop. When they start to do this, there's a high probability they'll go back there and then come down. So you can sell it, but you have to be very careful. Euro yen. So Euro yen is still going sideways. I had to clear everything. I had these lines for you guys, but I had to clear because we were doing some analysis on it yesterday in our trading room on a bigger time frame. This has not changed. Remember, I told you when this was doing this, that it's going to come here, go here, come here, most likely break that up and then come down. So there's a good chance this is going to go break the top. You're getting a flat in here. You're kind of getting a flat in here, some kind of a flat forming here. You might go break the top, and there's a good chance we come down. And the reason I took it off because the analysis was one of my traders was asking whether this is a possibility. Whether we look at this as the running flat. And this is a correction like this. And if this would just continue to go up slowly, 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 slowly. Like that, like it's going up right now. Right now it's going up looking like a correction. Right? It's not looking very impulsive. It's looking more like a correction. So the question, and this is what we do in our trading, when we discuss all possibilities that exist, and it doesn't matter what view you have, we will discuss your view as well. We're open to all views that all our traders can come up with. We're open to knowledge, not nonsense, right? So if a trader come and said, is this view possible? We look at it and we said, do you have something? Maybe he has something, and maybe he does. Maybe he does have something. I just don't like the sharpness of this piece in it, and I don't like the slowness of this piece. So my thought process, they will come here, come back here, and then go. Right? But if I'm wrong about that and this continues to go, like I said, we're looking for a short-term buy. You can get a short-term buy to the top, and if it keeps going, you can just stay with it, move your stops and stay with it, or get in another trade or get in another trade. Once that starts to prove that that is what it's doing. So one of those two we'll be looking at. Go back to the 1 hour. And we could look for a buy setup today. Because this piece looks like consolidation that will go up. Euro Swiss. This is coming down more, so this piece might not be making the flat we thought it's going to make. If we take this off, it could still make an expanding flat like this did. See, this made an expanding flat. But we don't have any buy or sell setup in it. You just don't have any setup. So if we're going to get a buy setup, it has to go like this and make a flag to buy. If we're going to get a sell setup, it has to consolidate here and drop, right? So neither of those two we don't have. So for trading purpose, it never gave the trade. There was never a trade setup in it. Euro Aus, we're getting a trade setup and it's a sell setup. So we look for the sell. It's a very nice sell setup right now. So come on. If this goes, we'll get the trade. We'll look for the breakout and we'll see if we get the trade to go. Right. Now this can consolidate here for a while more. There's a chance that this could go back up one more. Right, see that? There's a chance for that to go back up one more and then come down. We'll see. Right now, you have to allow it to break out. You have to allow it to make a flag and then you'll get the sell. because just breaking out means they can just break out like this and come right back up like that. And then you'll get an expanding flat here for an up move. It will still be corrective, except it will come back to the top here and then go down. Right? So again, you see the complexity of the wave analysis. These are the things you have to know. You just have to know them. If you know all of this, then trading becomes easy for you. Right? At least you know how to manage trades when you're in them, or whether you should get in them and how to get in. So Euro New Zealand, we expect this to be a flat, break the top and then turn. Well, it's broken the top and it's turning. So we'll be looking for the sell setup today. I don't see the clear sell setup as yet, but this could give us a trade here today if we get a flag here. We're going to be looking for that trade to the downside. So while this was going up, we said, come break this top and then look for the turn, and then we look for the sell setup. There is actually a sell setup on it. I think there is, but not on the hourly. There's a small sell setup, so we might wait for another flag here, a smaller flag, a very small flag, and then you can take the trade. EuroCAD, it's going sideways. We're looking for the sell setups for a while. It's not, haven't given the sell setup as yet. It's still consolidating, so we'll wait. Pound Aus is coming back down. So the question is whether this will break out. The big question is whether it's going to break out of this structure here. Because if it starts to break out of this structure here, this becomes a sell setup back to this low. Right? We would look for that, a sell setup back to the low. If they don't break out, if they just continue to go back like this, the question is whether they're going to break this top and go up. We don't have a buy setup in it. We most likely have a sell setup. So we'll be looking for the sell. And if the sell is not happening, which means this is not going down, not breaking out, not making flags, then we'll just leave it alone for now. Pound Yen went up back, it broke the top. So the first sell we took did not go. That was a break-even trade. That was this one. Came back, took us out for break-even and made a new high. So if it makes a new high, you're looking for two things. Is it consolidating here to continue to go up? One more. Or are we getting a sell setup here for that? If we get a sell setup again today, we will sell. There is no setup, not for the buy, not for the sell. Pound New Zealand, it's still in the consolidation. We'll look for the sell setup. This is still doing this. So if we get a sell setup here today, we'll take that trade. I'm not looking for a buy. Pound Swiss, this is the only one we're looking for a buy on, right? Because you can clearly see this. I think you can see this clearly. That was a short trade down yesterday, the one you see here. For this to come down some more, and it did come. It didn't break the low, so there's a chance they will come here and then go. We're not looking for this sell. We didn't sell that just so we're looking for the buy when this is finished to go up. You can see hundreds of those in the chart, and you will see the way they behave, right? They break, they consolidate here, and then they take off. So this would be a buy setup. So if it's a pound move to the upside, we will be in the pound Swiss. Not in the pound dollar, but the pound Swiss. So if it is the pound driving all the trades, which is the pound moving, all the pound pairs will go. It's in the pound in relationship to anything that the pound is traded against. Right? It doesn't matter what you trade. You can even trade the pound against cryptocurrencies. If the pound is changing value up or down, everything it's trading against will change value. You will have movements. So if you don't like the pound setup because there isn't a good setup on the pound for the buy, but you think it's going to go, come and trade this one. It's that simple. And that's trading. Choosing the trade with the highest probability in it. Not just because you have a feeling it's going to go, or you read somewhere it's going to go, you're going to be in the trade. But you can be in the trade. If you read that pound is going to go up and you really think it's going to go up, search pound traded against everything in the world. Gold, silver, I don't know, any currency, any cryptocurrency, any commodity. And if you have a good setup for it to go up, go trade that one. That one will give you the highest probability trade. So if you're right about what you think what is going to happen, congratulations, you will get an amazing trade. Put your risk on the one that has the highest probability. You don't have to choose the pound dollar. And the same thing here. I don't know if this is going to go up because of the Swiss dollar or because of the pound dollar. Of the pound, sorry, or the Swiss. I shouldn't say pound dollar. So the pound or the Swiss. I don't know if it's which one of them will move this. I have no idea. But this is telling me it's going to go up. So if I strongly believe that the Pong is the one, then I would go trade this. I hope you learned something. Tonkat. We're looking for a buy here, but we didn't take it because it's starting to do this. Right? It's starting to do this. And when it does that, it's going to come back here and then go. You might get something like that. It's not going very good, put it that way. So again, it's pound Swiss. It's not a pound CAD anymore, right? New Zealand yen. Okay, we sold this. We close it. We're looking for a sell again. We close it for positive because it wasn't going. You can see how long it took here and it didn't go. And now you're making a bigger consolidation here. If you put it like this, you're still in a bigger consolidation here. We'll see where this takes us. We'll look for a sell setup again. It still is a sell for now. Could this actually go back from this point? Let's take this off. Could it be that this was a flat here that ended the structure at the bottom here and is going up? Let's say this flat, and within this one, there was a running flat there. Go back, complete the flat. They come here. They didn't go down. They just stopped short here and go back up. It's possible. We just don't have a buy setup. And I'm not sure I wanted to buy it here either, because I'm already buying the dollar. Yeah, the New Zealand dollar. So if it is in New Zealand is the driving factor, then I'm in the New Zealand dollar. Why should I buy this? This doesn't have the highest probability trade for the upside. New Zealand Swiss, sell setup. You're getting another sell setup here. See? It's pretty simple. It's not that complex. New Zealand CAD, all sell setups are over because we're back at the low. So can it drop some more? I do think it's going to drop some more because I want them to break this low. But I'm not selling this one. I'd rather go sell in New Zealand Swiss if they're coming down, right? So maybe it's a Swiss. Maybe it's a CAD. Maybe it's New Zealand, right? So this one doesn't have a sell setup. It has a sell setup, but I'm not interested in that. The risk to reward is not there. See? Let's go. Canadian. Okay, we don't have a buy, we don't have a sell setup. It's kind of consolidating. Some of my traders bought it, they closed it because it didn't go. So we bought this flag. It broke out, it spent hours there, it didn't go. We closed the trade, it came down. It's probably going to consolidate there some more, and then we'll look for the buy again if it does that. CAD Swiss. Okay, we're looking for the sell. Let this go back up here, make a flat, and then we look for this trade. See? This one was 1, it comes there, it comes back here, it makes a flat. You get that trade up. This one was 1, 2, 3, it made a flat. You get this trade down. So we want the flat here, and then we want this trade down. So it's going up, let it go. Swiss yen, nothing. Silver, you can still trade silver more. There's more to the upside. I'm sorry, not silver, copper. More to the upside. We told you it can come all the way to this top. So if you get buy setups here, you can buy. Starting from here, I told you can buy. So you're getting a buy setup here, you can buy. We don't have sell setups, but it broke the top, but it doesn't mean it's coming down now. US oil, again, if you buy it, take profit. And if you take any buys in this, take profit or close to break even. In this case, I think you'll get break even only. Right? Can it come back here today and then go like this? I think so. See this one here? So I could see this come back a little here and then upside again. You can get your trade, wait for it to come, and then look for that trade to the upside and take profit. Same with the UK oil. I think it can come a little more. You might see this drop a little more here and then upside because this is looking like a running flat. Natural gas. Okay, we're going sideways here now. And it's starting to look like they're going to make one more up here. I'll be very careful with this because this could come back here and then go. See? I think they can come back here and then go. So there might not be much of a buy or sell setup here today. That's 100. We're getting a running flat here. I think we can see a running flat pattern forming here. If you get a buy setup here, this is a trade. It's a short-term trade. Take your profit. Get in the trade and get out of the trade. See, this is a running flat here. This looks like a running flat to me. So if this is a running flat, then we should continue to go up, which means if this breakout, you can take that trade to the upside. How far it's going to go, I don't know. But when it stops and it's going to go into consolidation, take off the profit. Same for this. I don't see the running flat here. I don't think this one makes the running flat. This could get a running flat right here or a smaller flat right here. So this one could do something just like that here. Give you a flat and then upside. And S&P 500, same thing. There is no running flat. This is a flat of its own. So we can repeat the same thing. Come here, come there, and then go. I think that's a possibility. Next, it's coming down. So if you sold, you did well. It's going back up. So are we going to go back to make a new high or just correction in here to drop some more? If it's a correction, you'll get this, and then you can look for a sell. It's incomplete as it stands right now. Pattern. AU200 starting to look like it's going to go more, right? We have this flat, but now it's kind of doing some consolidation here, which is not good because if they consolidate it, that will negate this flat. So we'll have to wait and see. Nifty, nothing. If you sold, you close, right? If you sold it here, went up, it came then back, it went up, it came then back, close the trade. It's not going anywhere. You can probably put a sell here today. I still think it's consolidating for a sell. What if they're going up some more? What if this thing is going up more, right? And it stays here for 3-4 hours, you get a flat, look for the buy, right? Because the sharp moves will eventually give you running flats in the future. Tesla. Okay, this is coming back deeper, so we're going to end up in a much bigger consolidation here. So come here, probably go back there, come back here. You might be here for a while and then go. It's not dropping. It's just going sideways as far as I can see. Didn't they invest? Is this the Tesla company that invests? Is it this company? I don't know how much Tesla company you have, if all of them are Inc. or LCL or whatever the companies are. Is this the one that bought the Bitcoin? It's supposed to be going up in shares, right? If it is, the Bitcoin is selling off already. Amazon. So let's see, this one is still consolidating here. See this consolidation? They can come a little more. This pattern could get a little more complex than we thought. And then we will see. We're looking for the downside, the upside, the downside, and then the upside. We haven't got any one of them. We're still in this consolidation for now. SLR, look for sell setups. I would allow this to consolidate. We were looking for buys. You were buying, but you'll have to let this consolidate here now before you buy. Again, because it's stopped. It's going to probably make some sideways here and then go. Reliance. Okay, it's going up more. It's not a long-term trade. If you try to get any of these short-term buys, it can do this, but look for the drop. If it starts to break out, you want the sell setup. Bitcoin, it's consolidating somewhere. All right, this piece is consolidating here. So you have the big consolidation here, and you have the small consolidation here. So this one is short-term trade. It can drop like this. This one is long-term trade. This can go back like that. So you decide how much you want to trade, which one you want to trade. Do you want to trade the smaller one? That's short. The impulse will be short. You can make some money. You might just get lucky and the impulse gets like this and then go up, right? So this piece is the sell setup. The bigger structure looks more upside. So if you get this trade, you can go with it as a short-term trade, see how far it goes. And then when it starts to go back, you close it and see how, at least put it to break even and then you'll close it. XRP, kind of going sideways. I'm looking for the downside. I'm expecting one more down here. If this comes back here as a consolidation, we could go up one more. It will still be within the correction. I'm expecting the downside though. So if it drops, well, you're lucky. You can stay with the trade. Ethereum, it's looking like a big expanding flat here, but this is a sell setup. If that breaks, it will be a sell setup, short term even. LTC, this also, if this breaks, it's going to be a sell setup. And if that breaks down, you're going to get a sell setup, and I could see them now that they've broken this top. If they go down back, we'll have a running flat. See? If this comes back here, we're getting a running flat for upside. Oh, sorry, I think that's about it with the LTC. That's where we stop. So I'll stop the webinar. It took a while. I think it took more than an hour because I tried to elaborate on some of the structures for you guys. By the way, the Swedish krona has a very nice pattern for you. Since we're on it, there's a possible running flat here. So if you start to get a buy setup, you can go for that trade. Right? Since I am on it here, right? So thank you very much. If you managed to watch this to the end, you've learned something, I hope. Please help share it, like, comments, leave constructive comments. You're welcome to do that. I'm open to anything. But don't get crazy, because if you get crazy, you'll be filtered. And you can be blocked from the channel. So thank you very much. If you like what I do, subscribe and set the notification so you will get videos when I do them in the future, because I will do a lot of videos in the future and they will be random. You want to get them exactly the time when I put them out, because they'll be valid only for a very short time. Thank you. Have a great day ahead of you, and see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.